Welcome again. Praise Yah, the Most High, and glory to our King Yeshua. Welcome again to 3T's, where we tell the truth. And everything that I say is what I call love in knowledge. So, what's the purpose of this video today? This was one that I didn't know how I was going to come out and say, but it's basically to inform and to make aware. Now, everything that I post on my Facebook page, for those who know me personally, that I've posted on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page, everything I say is truth that I've either experienced or something that I believed or something that was poured into my spirit by the Most High. So everything is just to open you up to what's really going on around us and to understand how serious it is to know what's going on around us. Because I want to tell you about my experience, but I'm going to tell you some things. I'm going to ask you some questions and then I'm going to tell you some things first. So one of the things that I want to say is I have it. Where did I write this silly thing down? Okay. So this is what I call just a thought. And personally, I'm not here to attack no one. You know, I spent 30 years of my life in silence, quiet, not speaking out about how I really felt, just to preserve a good atmosphere with people, in spite of me knowing and being aware of how dark-minded, how dark-hearted, how ignorant, how wicked people were around me and projected towards me. Either not maybe me directly on the physical, but on my name, my character, and my integrity. Am I perfect? God knows that I'm not. He knows I'm far from perfect. You know, God takes and uses whoever he pleases. And that is the truth, because I know I'm a living proof of that. And I am called to be a living sacrifice. I was going to either choose to join in on this war or let the war take me out. And I chose to be a partaker, a warrior of this warfare that's going on around us, because I love my people and he knows that I do. That's probably why I'm just so to the point with everything. And he knows that I can see. I've been seeing what was going on, and he just made it easy for me to really get this message out. And he gave me the motivation to do it, because I've been holding this information in for 10 years. And it was just, it just hurts me to see what's happening to our people. And the world is tearing us down, and we act like it's not. We're living like everything is okay, and it's far from okay. We can only make it okay together as one people, not as 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not even 100, unless there was only 100 of us. But it's a lot of us. It's millions of his people here on this earth, among other people or other creatures. Okay, so this is what I wrote down. I want to start with this, just a thought. While people are out partying, shopping, working, hurting, losing their minds in La La Land, the enemy is planning, reading, developing strategies to take over our minds, our bodies, and our souls, and preparing for war against people like me who have awakened from our slumber. So you would want to call me one of the awakening. Someone that God poured his spirit out to use to be a living sacrifice for his people. That's what we're called for, not because we're special, not because we're better than anyone else. It's because of something that was in our hearts that he knew he could use us for this purpose, for this mission. And for the last 10 years, I've been under attack. And I'm not talking about some old getting into an argument or a fight on the street type of attack. I mean a real attack against my life, like plots to kill me type of setting my cars up to fail, setting my tires up to fail, setting my house up to, and especially when I was smoking the cigarettes before I started using this thing, putting gas in my house, probably hoping that I would strike a match or a light and it would just blow up type of attacks. And this is real life stuff. So before I get deeper into that, I am about to get deeper into that. So the first question I want to ask you is, do you have any of you had any type of illnesses? Have you been diagnosed with any type of illness? And some of you may say, yeah, and I mean something very small. It could be something very small or something very big. It doesn't matter the measurement. It just matters. Have you been diagnosed with something like a flu, or from as small as a flu to a disease to a major illness, and you believe them? Did you believe them? Because you felt symptoms, right? And this is going to get to my story. All this is my story. But let me quit saying my, because it ain't my story. It's our story. I have to clarify that. I wanted to start off so it can draw you into my story. But really, I knew from the beginning it was not just my story. This was our story. And I just got to tell you this knowledge no matter what it costs me. And believe me, at this point in the world, in this system we're in, it has cost me everything. Almost. Except what God, the Most High Yah, allowed me to keep in my hands, enough to get me by type of stuff, And I don't know what the Most High's plans are and what kind of life lies ahead for me by giving out this truth to my people. Because we know, if anybody knows anything about history, you know that anybody who ever spoke the truth, the evil of this world has came up against and did everything in its power, spending billions of their what you call valuable dollars to take them people out, or drive them crazy, or cause them to commit suicide, cause them to commit murder, or whatever you want to call it. So my point is, back to, have you been diagnosed with anything? So my question is going to ask you, have you had any of these type of symptoms? Lower back pains, inflammation to the back, lower back, chest pains, blood clots, tremors where your body shake, feel like your nerves are shaking all over, headaches, whether here or back here somewhere, or maybe even here along the temple. Have you had any sinus irritation? Feel like something's burning in your nose? Feel like something's bothering your nose right there? Earaches, sore throats, coughing, pain behind your ears, pain in the ear, burning red eyes, or just burning irritated eyes, or just irritated eyes. Watery eyes, where one eye usually waters at once, not both, but just one just becomes irritated and it just waters on its own. Loss of your focus a little bit at times, where you could be feeling like you're fine and all of a sudden you like something just took you off. Are you angry all day and you don't have no reason to be? and you can't figure out the reason why you are. Rashes on your bodies, abscesses or boils coming on your body, skin irritation or even burning, internal burning in your body, feel like your whole blood is on fire, or maybe even your stomach, or sharp pains in your stomach. Um, have you had any skin discoloration? Like maybe you were like, well, we all are one color at first, and then all of a sudden you get darker, extremely darker than your normal skin color. Dry mouth, or a funny taste in your mouth. Have you felt weak, fatigue, feel like you lose your balance, your balance is going off, you're losing balance at times, feel like your blood is heavy at times, you feel weak, feel like something pulling you down, type of heaviness in your body all of a sudden. Have you felt sleepy and you couldn't explain it, and all of a sudden you feel fine, and all of a sudden you can sit down, and all of a sudden feel like weight just took you down to the point where you fall asleep, you wake back up confused, like, wait a minute, what happened? I wasn't tired, or do you even pay attention to these things? This is just some of the stuff I'm telling you. I haven't told you everything. So another thing is, have you had any, so I already asked you if you had any health issues. Do you know what the causes are? Can you pay attention and focus on what the causes of these issues are? What's causing these issues in your life? So let's ask you this question too before I go deeper into this, because they all come together now. Have you had any issues with your car out of nowhere? Just random things just keep happening, or you felt like your car was fine and then all of a sudden something went wrong, or something was broken, something didn't seem right, something went out and you felt like, how did that happen? But you made an excuse for it, like, oh, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. Have you had strange things happening that you can't explain or don't make sense to you in your life? Those are some of the things that's going to get to my point of today by enlightening you and informing you. So before I forget, continue to tell you what those possible issues are and causes could be, let me explain something to you really quickly. You have the power in your hands, in your heart, in your mind, in your body, and in your soul for things to happen to you and not happen to you. Now, we can't control the creatures or our brothers and sisters that go astray. We can't control them, not physically. But we can control ourselves. So basically, we have the power to control what we say, how we speak, how we respond to people when they say things to us. We have the power to control what we do, our actions, how we react to things. We have the control of our own behavior, how we act as a person, or what we choose to act, our character. We have the power to control our thoughts, what we allow in our minds and what we put out our minds. We have the power to control our emotions and how we feel, and not to get mad at things just because they don't go our way, or get too excited when they do. We have the power to love. We have the power to hate. We have the power to win. We have the power to lose. So when you don't know what's going on around you, you're not tapping into your own power. Ignorance is really a deadly thing in this life. That is the most deadliest weapon in this world, is to not know something that is important or that can help you, or awareness of what's going on around you. You know, a lot of people judged me because for all my life I've been telling the truth. Before I knew the Most High, I've always spoke the truth. And people judged me way back then. Ever since I went out into the world, by the time I was 15, I was judged. You know, I was judged already. I mean, I had people judging me from the start since 13, as far as I can remember, since 13. And by the time I was 15, I was like, I don't give a damn. I'm going to be me. I didn't care. So there's a lot going on around us. And the reason why I'm even trying to connect with people on Facebook right now is because this is a great device or tool. That's what I'm going to call it. A tool, a channel, instant way to communicate, instant communication that our enemy has conjured up somehow. And I enjoy and I think that he did do it because it gives me a way to communicate with you right away, you know, at least as fast as we can get a video uploaded and you basically click on it to view it. So I want to let you know something real quick. There are a lot of chemicals in this world. A lot. They don't need a lot, but there are. They have mixed and matched all kind of stuff. You know, maybe it was only a few, but they took them few and branched them out to just hundreds of chemicals, or probably more. I don't even know the limit of how far the warehouse can go with how many different chemicals that are in this world. And a lot of the times, every day, I ain't gonna say a lot of the times, every day, our enemy is using some of these chemicals in a way secretly to destroy us. They have already practiced this for many years. What can attack what chemical to use to attack what. So they have some chemicals that can attack your vision. They can attack the color of your skin, can make you feel like something's wrong with your heart or your chest. It ain't your heart. It just irritates it for the moment. So it all, you know, maybe even for a couple days. And now you feel like something wrong with your heart. Let me go to the doctor. I feel like I'm gonna die. And if you suck in enough of it, then maybe you are right. But in the beginning, that's not accurate. They have chemicals that can affect how big your stomach gets, how small it can get, how big your breast can get, how small it can get, how big your butt can get, how small it can get. It can make you go in and out. How big your weight, it got chemicals that can affect how you can gain weight, lose weight, swelling of your body, your hair loss, hair growth, you know, your breathing, make your teeth fall out. Basically, I believe you are getting the point here. They have chemicals that can affect all these things. So some of them that I wrote down, they got chemicals that cause you to fall asleep even when you're not tired. Chemicals that causes flu-like symptoms, pain in your lower back, swelling in your feet, arms, legs, weight loss, skin darkening drastically, sore red eyes, muscle spasms, chest pain, deformation of your body, gangrene. Also, these chemicals cause earaches, abscess in your breast, shrinkage in your breast, sagging in your breasts, and your buttocks too, hair loss, and it causes your hair to not grow any after a certain length. Chemicals that causes toothaches, sinus burning constantly, sores on your feet, also, let's see, bumps on your nose can cause you to get a humpback. You know, like, have you seen some people with that thing on their back right there, like they're like, you know, they walking like that. Um, so I've already repeated some of these. I've already spoken some of these, so I'm just repeating what I wrote down. They can cause dehydration, vaginal irritation, and for genital irritation, so for men and women. Skin rashes, like unusual rashes that even if you go to the doctor, they'll tell you, I don't know what it is, you know, or they'll try to put a name on it. Bumps under your skin. Um, so it can cause you to have respiratory issues, constipation, diarrhea. So you get what I'm saying, right? You get a little bit of what I'm talking about here, right? I know you might say, oh, this is crazy. This is out of control. Yeah, that's what I would have thought too. Until it happened. Some of these things happened to me. Yeah, I would have thought exactly the same thing. Probably not, because I've been open-minded all my life. And then people used to talk about things happening to them. They didn't describe it like I am, but they described exactly some of the things I'm about to tell you. And I believe them, even though I never experienced it. I never heard of anybody experiencing being attacked. I believed them. I did. I didn't judge them and say, well, they were wrong. No, even when other people did and just called them crazy, I didn't. Mm-mm. I did not at all. So basically, these chemicals, you might say, well, I'm alive. How can these chemicals affect me? Oh, they're affecting you. You just don't understand the sophistication of your body that the Most High created when he created this body that we live in. Yes, it could be sliced up like that, but that would draw too much attention. So they want to do this. Over the years, if you look back in history, go back and do your own research. Don't just go off what I say. Go back and do your own research. If you go back into history, you will find that anyone of the Most High's children or chosen people, his people that he chose for his own, have been attacked from the beginning of time. And if you think some of those people are gone, then you're wrong. They're right here in your face. His people are still here, moving around, still here. And they have brought this wickedness up against every generation, every generation, every generation. They just keep coming up with different strategies to get to their goal. That's it. So basically, these chemicals that they use are in everything. Everything you can imagine. They put a little bit of these chemicals in everything. And at first they used to just attack us with it on their own until they decided, well, you know what? We can make a system. Let them buy their own poisons. Let them think it's hair grease for their hair. Let them think it's soap for their skin. Let them think, it's just milk. Yeah, all these things are just that. And there was one time where they did not probably put as much as they're putting in there now. That's because people are not dying as fast as they want them to. So they have increased the dosages. They used to die slowly back in the days, and they still was dying slowly. And so the birth rate and the death rate were not at a balance the way they wanted it to be. They wanted to be more death rates than birth rates. So that way there can be less people in this world, or less, basically, they want to control the population. Now, before I did any research, and believe me, most of the stuff I know did not come from research. It just come from paying attention, watching and listening, seeing it with my own eyes, experiencing some of this stuff myself. So what they do is, all that stuff you see them putting in the sky, Airborne chemicals. Airborne chemicals. I just this year, 2018, November, just this year, I've sat outside of my house to wash my car, my truck. And as I was sitting there washing my truck, and I recorded this, like every plane or helicopter that went by came over me to spray something in the air. Why did they do that specifically to me to where I can notice it is because I already know what they're doing. And they know I know what they're doing. So they're trying their best to take me out without it looking like they had anything to do with it. They're trying to cause me to get sick so that I can go to their hospitals. And then who knows what they want to do to me once I get into their hospitals, especially if I'm in the room with them by myself and I'm unconscious or incapable of focusing on what's going on. Or I trust that they will give me some medicine and to help me when it's not really medicine to help me. I can tell you right now, one of the things that causes these so-called flu-like symptoms is propane gas, ammonia, pepper spray. Because those are some of the things that they have placed into my car. So they basically, what do you call it? Intruded into my car and home. They placed chemicals in my car and home, and on my clothes, in my food, in my tub, on my couches, on my floor, on the rug, on my stuff, that I brought in the house, my rugs, mats that's in my bathroom. Put it on my spoons, my forks, my plates, my bowls, my pots. Do you get what I'm getting at here? In my car, everywhere, on my seats, on the dash, on the windows. So if you notice any type of white streaks on your window, when your windows should not have white streaks on your windows, at least some people, everybody not as clean as I want to assume, but I am very clean. So if anyone knows me, they know that I'm like, okay, let's use one of their medical terms. No, I don't have a medical problem. I'm just clean. But let's say I'm OCD clean, but not a paranoid person clean. I'm just clean. I don't panic because people dirty up stuff. No, I clean it up. I keep everything tidy and nice. I've been like that since I was a kid. So that's what made it easy for me to detect that they were putting stuff in my house and on my clothes. So when I began to detect that they was doing that, and I try to tell people that I know, that I know what was happening, my family, talk to my friends, talk to pastors. No one seemed to act like they understood what was going on. But I thank the Most High that I didn't stop there. I thank Him that I continued to search and continue to know what was happening to me was real and not to become what they was trying to get me to become, possibly. Insane. Start taking pills. Then I would have really been tripped out because they would have gave me something out of this world that would have corrupted my mind or probably had mind control over me. They trying to get me into the medical office to do something to me, but God, Most High, Yah forbid. The Lord rebuke thee, Satan. The Most High is my healer. And if anything come up over me, then I know now, especially today, November the 22nd, especially today, 2018, today, if anything does come over me and it takes over me by force, it comes up against me, then it's His will. I know that for a fact now. Because I can tell you, I've been going through this for 10 years, but just in this last month alone, in my lifetime, every single day and night, they have overwhelmed this little house I'm in right now. With the doors, the windows closed, everything closed, filled my house up with propane gas and ammonia. Me knowing that it's in my house, I could smell it and everything. And they goal probably was hoping I didn't wake up. But praise Yah, I am right here, well, alive, and to tell you what happened. In this house, in 2018, one night I fell asleep about a month ago, if that long. I woke up at around 3 o'clock in the morning, burning up. Not on fire, like literally a fire is over me. No, it was in my body. My whole body was on fire. And my stomach was burning really even worse than my body, the rest of my body. And it felt like a knife was cutting through my body just like that. And I woke up and I felt it. And the first thing came out of my mouth is, your will is for me to die tonight, Most High Yah, then let your will be done. And I just went, and somehow it was no discomfort for me to fall right back to sleep. And I went right back to sleep. And then I woke up like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? And I just praised him when I woke up. Since we've been here, we've been under attack. We've been in a war. It used to be a loud war, where you knew it was going on. They try to come up against us with the racism, the discrimination, the killing of our people and in our faces. And we're not doing anything because of the condition we were a part of at that time. But once we basically broke out of that, they created this system to use against us, to keep us down. And then the stuff they spray in the air and the medicines they give you, so they cause the sicknesses. They give you the medicine. Those medicines you take are not helping you. They're killing you. There is nothing in this world that this enemy has created is going to help you. That's not their goal. It just kills you slowly. And the only thing that's probably in it is some type of numbing or pain relaxing medicine, so that way you don't feel your pains as strong as you did before you went in the doctor. But they're not helping you. They're not curing you. They're not. They would never do that. They cause the problem, and then you run to them, and then they just put more control over you. So to make you, they manipulate you. That's what you call an illusion. They put the stuff out in the air. All of a sudden, everybody's coughing. Run to the doctor. Oh, let me give you a shot. Not all people are bad people. Not even our enemy. Some of them, it is their bloodline. It is their heritage. But some of them want to do like we do. They want to be nice. They want to smile. They don't want to walk around with a frown and be uptight and judging people. No, they want to smile and help. They really genuinely want to help. This is why you need to know how to discern and to test every spirit walking around you. Because some of them are creatures and they act like them. The Most High called me. I didn't call him. I called on him at 15, but he had already called me from the beginning of my life. I didn't know that because I was too distracted by the world system. Hunger, trying to get something to eat. Chasing after knowledge. Thank God I did that. trying to go to school, trying to make money, trying to get a home, somewhere to live, trying to do all these things that keeps us distracted. They keep us distracted. This system is designed to distract us from the real purpose of life. Do you even know what life is all about? What it is? Do you know why we're here? Why this world even exists? This world exists because sin was born. Just a little while after the Most High made man, sin was created, and he had to create somewhere for it to go without destroying the man right away, at least. So he created this world for the man. Until the purification of sin, was removed. You have to know your history. You have to read. And our enemy, who is our enemy? As many people don't want to believe it. The world want to deny it and try to tell people that you're crazy, honey. But let me tell you this. It don't matter what people say. His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And that is a fact. That's a truth. Ain't no fact. It's a truth. Satan and our Father, the Most High Yah, our Creator, are basically like warring with each other, and we're in the middle of it. And we are the ones they want to claim, both. Our souls. Our warfare is because Satan wants to take our souls away from the Most High. He wants them to burn in Hades with him, in Sheol with him, in hell with him. He hates us. He hates all that is not his brothers from the start, before mankind was born. He just hates because the Most High took his eye off of him and put it on man. And he became jealous, envious, and hateful. Satan wants us all dead. And unfortunately, just like I praise and worship the Most High, there are millions and probably billion, a couple billion, that worship Satan. Some of them know they're worshiping him and understand the sacredness of worshiping him. And some people really don't understand what they're doing. They don't even realize the choice that they make. They don't understand how serious it is and how deep it really goes. And they appear worshiping him, tossing up the hands of the wicked, signs and all that. And they don't understand. And a lot of our brothers and sisters are dying because of their choices they make that are not righteous. Perfection, no one has that. Not in this earth. There's no perfection, not even in God's chosen. He knows our flaws. He knows our hearts. He knows what we're going to do. He knows what we're doing, and what we have already done. He knows it all. He knows who's going to make it and who's not going to make it. Because he already seen it. It's nothing new for him. It's only new for us. You don't have to understand. You don't have to believe. Because either way, it don't matter. It just don't matter if you believe or not. It will serve you right to believe. But if you don't and you deny the truth, you will go where the enemy is going to go. You say you love your life and you really want all these things. What did the Most High say? This is why you need to know his word and ask him for understanding as you read the word. And don't just go off what someone tell you. Not even me. He said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all things will be added unto you. So that means that job you want, that home you want, that car you want, all that money in the bank you want, you can have those things. Them babies you want, that husband, that wife, you can have those things. But just don't expect everything to be perfect in this world. Because what the Most High has for you, you will receive it. But just don't expect to build it all up in here. Don't worry about building it all up here. Seek him first while you're here. Because if you don't know, I'm here to tell you. This world is not going to last too much longer. Now, I don't know if I'll be here when it ends. Praise Yah, I'm not. Because that's going to be Armageddon. It's going to be Armageddon. Armageddon hasn't happened yet. The flood did. The flood happened though. But our brother Enoch said, the Most High instructed him to tell the children of Israel, his chosen, after the flood was coming, people were going to die, only one in their family was going to be saved. And he said even after that, sin was going to basically, it was going to start all over again, but this time it was going to be worse than it was before the flood. And that's exactly what's happening and what's been happening since the flood has been over. The sin just got worse. Just worse. And then it's so bad right now that everybody feels comfortable doing it because the devil made it look good. They got everybody believing that money is valuable, and it's most definitely not. So for those who think money is valuable, would you give your health for money? Or would you give money for your health? Would you give your life for money? Or would you give money for your life? I mean, those are just two examples. You can go deeper than that. Now, I put a post up called The Secret Covenant of the Illuminati that I found. It's weird how I found it. Because at the time I had no clue what was going on with what was, how to explain what was happening to me. I didn't realize that it was actually physical things going on. I thought it was something spiritual coming up against me and trying to drive me insane. But I refused to let that happen. I mean, I'm a person who I just refuse to let that happen. So I was doing some research about the symptoms that I would feel and the things that was going on around me, that started happening around me. And I came across a lot of just a a lot of different people who was going through the same thing I was going through, but no one was explaining. They were just as confused about what was happening as I was. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So, I mean, I had already talked to my friends, family, and the pastors. And no one clarified anything. They didn't give no type of understanding, and even tried to insinuate that we were losing our minds. Oh Lord, that just boop hit me right upside the head. Like, are you serious? Well, today I'm here to tell you that it's not that we're losing our minds. We've always had our minds. We're just gaining more understanding, and we have become awakened on a spiritual level of life. So we're no longer just only in the carnal realm of life. We are still at a balance. We're partially in the spiritual realm of life too. So being that we have a light of the Most High surrounding us that you can't see, I can't see, but the spiritual world can see. And like I said, Satan is the one using his spirit somehow, because he's in a holy prison in this earth. I don't know how he's using his spirit. I don't know if he's been released yet already, because the Most High did say in the last days he was going to release them for a little while. And when that was over, then boop, it's the end. So he could be released in the atmosphere, but he just can't enter into the the physical part of it, even though he's no longer angelic anymore. He's flesh, or he's not 100% angelic anymore. When he was moved out of heaven, he became flesh. They became flesh when they were kicked out. Some type of flesh. I don't know if it's the same as ours or what. They don't describe that. But he could be the one loosed, and somehow he is ruling this world with the authority of the Most High. He's not doing it because he just chooses to. No, even he respects laws and regulations of the Most High, and he does exactly what he's told to do. So he's got everybody deceived, because the people who worship him, or the creatures who worship him, have used this system they created to keep us in this mental and physical prison. Like, sometimes it's not being closed behind bars and doors. Sometimes they put us in mental institutions when we start talking and speaking the truth. They'll do anything, like I said, at all costs to keep the truth from surfacing, and then they don't care if it's surfaced. They just don't want people to believe it. So if it appears that people are going to believe what someone is saying, they do everything in their power to try and shut that person up. So they first start off by trying to say they're crazy, trying to convince them that they're crazy. That'd be the first one, because that's what happened to me. They try to convince me I was crazy by using my family to try to convince me that I was crazy, which I told them they were crazy if they thought that. So another thing was to try and get me sick, probably. And they even tried to get a pastor to say that I was crazy, but he didn't say it directly to me. He said it indirectly, and I knew he was talking to me. But that didn't work either, because I knew I was not crazy, and I know I am not crazy, or what they would call crazy. They use, like I said, the chemicals they put around you causes you to feel certain type of symptoms. So the first thing you would think is, oh, let me go to the doctor. That's how I always was too when I was younger. Anything, any little scratch on my face, any weird feeling, anything, I run to the doctor. They like, nothing wrong with you, you know. So this time around, when things started happening, and they started happening worse than I've ever experienced it, breaking out with crazy rashes on my face and body. And I didn't go to the doctor for none of that stuff. The only thing I think I did go to the doctor for is when I broke out on my face while I was at a job. and it came on my face while I was at work. So after work, I went straight there to see what it was, um, because I know it happened from something, had to come from that place. So the attacks of the devil can harm your body. They can, if you don't realize what's happening to you, you don't do something about it right away. But you have to understand that they create these symptoms just to get you into the doctor's office so that you can get these medicines, so they can suppress you, whether it's mentally or physically, put you in a mental prison or a physical prison. If they keep, and all of it is just to distract you from, like I said, the whole purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? To please the Most High, to do His will, to do the things in righteousness, to love your brother, love your sister, help your brother, help your sister, help the stranger who needs help. Telling the truth, especially when it can help someone's life. One of the other sicknesses, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it just came into my mind, was weight loss. Yeah, I did say weight loss, didn't I? Yeah, I did, because I said weight gain or weight loss. Now, you might say, if they're poisoning our food, our air, and our water, in our homes, our clothes, our shoes, what do we do? That's why you pray to your Creator. He's the only one who can protect you from these things, you know. And also, don't get it wrong. Our bodies are very sophisticated, like I said. They can take a lot, a whole lot. Why do you think you're not dead right away? It's because they've been poisoning us heavily. But you're not dead. You're still alive. You're breathing their dirty air, and you're not coughing and choking right away. You have to wake up. I don't know what the purpose of the Most High is showing me all this and giving me this type of understanding. I really don't know. Because after 10 years, I think only one person actually believed me. I mean, besides some strangers who probably was experiencing these things. Even them. Even people I know who knows the Most High, who reads their Bible and knows the Bible, they still, it's like they don't even understand. Do I know the Bible inside and out? No. How do I know what I know? I read the Bible, but I read it so fast I shouldn't have remembered anything. But I do. I remember what the Most High wanted me to remember. That's why we have faith. Faith that He will guide us, lead us, protect us, make ways for us, to bless our foods, our health, our minds. You have to come up out of this. You really do have to come up out of that darkness that we're in, because people People are dying right now, and they don't have to. They're putting all these drugs and alcohol, cigarettes in our communities. Now, I mean, look at this. Does this even make sense? This is how you know this is some kind of hell or something, because who would wrap them up real nicely, put them on the market, cigarettes, alcohol, now marijuana, pills and pharmaceutical drugs, and then create hotlines and programs. You see how the system works? You put the drug out there, you put the poison out there, then you create all this other stuff around it, and then you keep people on it so tough, and then you tell them that, oh, they're just losing their minds. No, they didn't lose their mind. You destroyed them. You given them poisons that cause them. Every poison they make does not affect people exactly identically the same way. Some people can handle it and some people can't. Eventually, it's still going to destroy everybody if you continue in it. The Most High said, and I had to take this advice myself. He said, be sober and watchful. You can't see if you're on something all the time. You got to take a break in between so you can see something. Ooh, the enemy trying to come up against me to stop me, but I will not. In the name of Yeshua, I will continue to tell what's going on here. Who is the enemy? The names everybody seems to be afraid to say. I don't know why. Because though an army should encamp me, in this too I will remain confident. Shoot, who's not the enemy? Government, FBI, CIA, law enforcement, medical industry, food industry, postal service, technology industry, prison system, pharmaceutical systems, construction industry, military, education systems, mental institutions, firefighting departments, music industry, clothing industry, cosmetic industry, television industry, radio industry, news industry, voting systems, employment systems, real estate industry, church institutions, justice systems, fashion industry, banks, institutions, sport industry, insurance industry. I mean, who's not a part of it? Is it every single person in these places? No. Some of them are God's children. There's only two fathers in this life that, we need to look at. And that's the Most High, the Creator, and his son, Satan, who went against him and challenged him. And he allowed him to. He didn't have to. But he allowed and accepted that challenge of, battling for our souls. He accepted it. And we're in the middle of it. People may not know, but the Most High, Satan was the apple of the Most High's eye. The sun set on him. He was like, that was the morning smile for the Most High. He was everything to him. And he turned against him. And even when he turned against him, he tried to find a place for him in heaven. But sin cannot abound in holy places where the Most High dwells. It cannot be in his atmosphere, his environment. So he had to come down here with us. He came down here with us. Now, I don't know who these creatures are. They could be his kids. I don't know. But they could be some of the Most High's other creations. Because he said he made worlds with an S, not earth alone. He made worlds, other worlds too. So that means that there's life on other worlds. You think this is the only place that has life on it? And answer me this. Why is people so afraid to know the truth? Like it's like they can hide from it in their own mind, because that's the only place you hide from it is in your own mind. Because it doesn't matter if you hide from it in your mind, because it's here all around you. Your friends, your family, your brothers and sisters. People are out here dying. And it does matter. It matters. How can people care and focus on partying when there's so many of our brothers and sisters, our people, homeless and dying on the streets and suffering every day in jails and institutions, and even around us, and even living in houses and apartments or whatever, you know? How can we act like it's not going on? I mean, people don't understand why misery knocks on their own door, and when they think they shouldn't have it, because they think life is going great for them, so they wondering why they feel so miserable. Let me explain something to you. And the Most High just put this on my mind right now. Christ, people in Christ is one body. So just imagine all of the people that's his people, that our people, is one body. We're all members of that body. All have a specific purpose and function of that body. So if one member of the body hurts, don't you think the rest of the body feels it too? Even when everything seems to be perfect in our lives, it's always something is off in this life. You got to understand why that is happening and why you feel that way. It's because somebody in your family, even if you don't know them, they are your brothers and sisters, regardless of you know them or not. And if they're hurting, you feel their pain. You feeling someone's suffering. This is why he says, together we stand, and divided we fall. Christ is wakening up a lot of people. He's been doing it for a while now. I'm not new to this. I mean, I'm not the one new to this race. The race is not. I'm new to the race, but the race is not new. He's been wakening up people. No one's just been really listening. There's some people who have been listening. There is a lot of people who have been listening, but not enough. Not enough. So no one's talking about it. So the word is not getting spread in communities where people are not going to school and don't have internet. And the devil keeps us so distracted that We don't even try to look for things. We don't try to reach out to our brothers and sisters. We don't try to come together. We are, oh, that ain't my brother. Hey, my mama didn't have him. My daddy didn't have him. He ain't in my family. He ain't my cousin. Oh, he your brother and he your sister, or she's your sister because she's a part of God's body. And you're a part of God's body. And together we make his body. Wake up, people, please. So let me finish with my story now about this. So, it wasn't until I began to really, truly, sincerely call on the Most High where he just awakened me up. So he already's calling us. I believe he's already calling us, but sometimes, like I said, the devil has the system and have us so distracted in the system that we don't hear him. And so that means we're not ready for what he wants us to do, because when he awakens us up, it's not for to get rich and to continue living our old life and doing things exactly the same. Because most people say, oh, I'm blessed because they got all this money, got a car, got a job. So does that mean Satan's synagogue is blessed too? Because they have more money than anybody I know. Some of them, at least the big ones, the big dogs. Not the little ones, but the big dogs do. So, and they commit more crimes than anyone you can imagine, more than a who they call, more than any of our brothers and sisters. So are they blessed? Because they're riding around in Ferraris and BMWs and Mercedes Benzes and all those expensive $1 million cars and living in $2 million houses, so they're blessed. A rich man has nothing if he don't have the Most High. And he doesn't even have good sleep. He doesn't have good health. Those people are on more medication than the people on the streets doing drugs, just to keep themselves as sane as they can be. They're not happy. Do you think if they were happy that everybody else would be so miserable too? No. If they were happy, the whole wide world would be happy. Those controlling everything, if they were happy, the whole wide world would be happy too. All these people who got all this money and access and control of this system, if they were happy, everyone in this system would be happy because it would go smooth. It would be righteous. Happy people make righteous decisions and choices because they're not only thinking of themselves, they're thinking of all the other people around them too. And not just their family and friends. They're thinking they think of other people that they have not even met yet. So let me tell you something really quick. Let me go back. When did this happen? I have videos of this man. Like, I hope they're clear enough. But let me tell you something. I drive down El Cajon Boulevard all the time. And around Montezuma, between, Starbucks and, I don't know if that's Cragen Auto Parts. It's a auto store, a tire shop, some kind of place right there between. Anyway, there was this homeless man. I assumed he was homeless, so I shouldn't do that. But this guy who was out there all the time, he would be bouncing back and forth. He'd either sit at the Starbucks all day or he'd be laying on the bench, the bus stop bench. And I used to see him, and I've seen a lot of homeless people. But for some reason, it's like this man's soul was connected to me. And I felt whatever he was going through. I don't know. He didn't look like he was hurting or in pain or nothing. But he did look like what people would say, assume, like he was out of his mind. Like, just lost. But something about his soul connected with mine while I'm driving past him every day. And so the third time I felt that feeling inside of me, I just began to pray. So every time I seen him after that, the third time I went past him, I began to pray for him. And I would plead for him, God help him out, whatever he's going through. I don't know what he's going through. And it is strange how it all happened. So every time I drove past him, and because I had a lot going on, and plus my own warfare and all kind of stuff coming up against me, so he didn't stay on my mind, because I'm the kind of person what's left behind is going to be left behind, just like that when it comes to things that can tear your mind down. So I prayed for him, and then one day the enemy came. He's always been coming up against my car. He done damaged my car in so many different ways. 2 different cars and 2 different homes, and a lot of clothes and food, stolen stuff from my house, everything. But recently they did something to my truck to cause it to not start. But it was all in God's favor, though. I know it was God working through me. And so the day before my car shut down, I knew I started there. I had my nephews with me. We had a good day. It was time to take them home. So I took 2 of them home, and I was going to take my other 2 nephews home. But something told me that if I turned my car off, it wasn't going to start again, period. And it's strange how I thought that. And I took it straight to my father's house. And as soon as I turned my car off, I tried to immediately start it back up. It was dead. It wouldn't even go and nothing. It was just dead. It was like a graveyard, just dead. And I was like, I knew it. I don't know how I knew that was going to happen, but I just knew it was going to happen. So anyways, my dad took me home and told me he would come get me in the morning to take care of some business. So that morning, and I was waiting on my dad, but something told me to start walking. So that's what I did. So I started walking down Alcohol Boulevard. And I'm just happy, feeling good. I wasn't letting the devil conquer me. No, I kept on moving. So I called my dad and told him, hey, I'm walking down Alcohol Boulevard. So call me and let me know when you're on your way, where you at, so I can tell you where to meet me, where I am. So this was not by accident. This was not by accident that I made it all the way to Montezuma before I lived by Baltimore before my dad reached me. I made it to Montezuma, and I wasn't walking fast. I was just walking normal, like a normal person, and not like a racetracker or anything like that. I was just walking like a normal person, not a medium rate, not too slow, not too fast. And it was very strange to me. Not strange, but it was like it made me become very alert when I saw the guys sitting out there. So, and it put a smile on my face that I seen him out there. I don't know why, but and not in a bad way, but I was like, cause his situation. So I just smiled as if I knew him already. It was just a experience. So He was sitting at one bus stop, but this time he wasn't laying down. He was sitting up, and there was another person at the other bench. So there was two benches. He was on one, and another lady was on another. And I just sat next to him and just asked him, I said, "Good morning," and he said, "Good morning." And right away, something just filled up my spirit, and then the cloud opened up. It was a cloudy day, and the sun shined right down on both of us. And it did something to me. It just, something in my spirit was connecting with this person. I didn't understand, because I don't know what my spirit was saying to him, but whatever it was doing, they were doing, it was a good feeling. So I'm talking to the man, and I'm not going to say everything that happened. The point is, when I left him, I just felt really good. I don't know why. I felt really good. And I even asked him what was his name. I asked him, "What is your name?" I still remember his name. He told me his name was Johnny. And this is the point. Not that he was a homeless man on the street, but God created a situation. I don't know why he had to use me, because he can do it on his own. But he just used me to talk to the guy and to tell the guy some things. And the next day, from that day forward, I had never seen that person sitting out there again. And he was there for almost a whole year I've been living over here. All this time. All this time. Well, I don't know if he was there for the whole year, but he'd been there for at least 6 months. At least 6 months. Just sitting out there. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Starbucks to bus stop, Starbucks to bus stop, Starbucks to bus stop. Every time I seen him, he was on either one side, either laying on the ground or laying on the bus stop bench, or sitting at Starbucks, just sitting there. And I just feel like the Most High, it could have been the Most High. It could have been an angel. I don't know. But my soul cried for him. And I feel like the Most High helped him. I have other stories. I have a spirit that keeps those that are close to me. It keeps those that are close to me. So the devil wants to drive everybody away from me so he can try and harm them. How do he drive them away? I don't know. With his tricks, his lies, his deception, his money, his gifts, People who change their heart on me, God deals with them. If you change it for the wrong reasons. Am I going to be here forever? I don't know. But I know I will not die. Even if I leave this place. Like I told you before. Or I'll tell you if you didn't see my last video. This body that you see, this ain't me. This is what you call a vessel. I'm using this like putting on a shirt. My soul put on a meat suit, what they say in Supernatural. I like when they say that. My soul put on a meat suit. and it will be gone. And I know that. I accept that, as everyone should, whether they like it or not. The fear of death indicates that a person really needs to clean up their soul. If you think of death and you're afraid to even, or if you're afraid to even think about it, you need to clean up your soul. I'm not going to say what you need to do. Clean up your soul. Ask for forgiveness for everything you think that is the most darkest, dirtiest thing that you could have partaked in, whether you thought it, did it, felt it, whatever. Because if you don't clean it up, if you don't repent, you have every reason to be afraid of death. Yeah, you do. Because those who are not going with Christ will be tormented and tortured. So maybe that's why our enemy tries to do people like me that way while we're here. Try to torment and torture us. Trying to come up against my mind with some kind of mind control. I'm not sure if the creatures are really those aliens or not, but I know we're not here by ourselves. They just haven't revealed their faces to me. Like, not the ugly part of them. If it is ugly at all, I don't know. If they really look like serpents or aliens with the big eyes, the big head, I don't know. But the stuff they show in the movies, how the little aliens be trying to get in your mind, I feel that. Maybe they just don't look like that for real. I feel that, but let me tell you, that covenant that I told you about, I'm going to put it again or attach it with this video just for those who didn't see it. I may attach it. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do or not, but I may attach it to this video. Either way, you can find it. It's called The Secret Covenant of the Illuminati. It talks about how to basically destroy people secretly. The so-called blacks are the target. Black people, you're not a target. You are an elect. And if you lose your place, it's only because you chose to lose it. Because you want to believe in what the world tells you and not what God tells you. They're telling you the truth. Why do you think they got so many Bibles? They telling people the truth, but they just altering it. Altering it so that you will never ever come to the knowledge of truth. They're putting it right in your face. Look at all these churches. So when you get to the Most High, when it's Judgment Day, you cannot say, I didn't know. They put the books out there. The only ones they didn't put in the foreground was those ones, the Book of Enoch, the lost books of the Bible, what is it? What are those books? The lost books of the Bible are, well, one of them was the Book of Enoch. It's a lot. The Gospel of the Birth of Mary, Protevangelion. I don't know what the hell, how to say that. Protevangelion. Infancy of Jesus Christ and Abgarus, king of Edessa, Nicodemus, formerly called the Acts of Pontius Pilate, the Apostle Creed, the Book of Adam and Eve, Secrets of Enoch, Psalms of Solomon, or the Wisdoms of Solomon, Audes of Solomon, the Book of, there's a lot of books out there. There's a whole bunch. Um, what's the other ones? I got another one that got a lot of different books that I read. Um, Let me look at my Apocrypha, which is meaning the lost books or something like that. Laodiceans, Maccabees, Prayers of Manasseh, Abel and the Dragon, Susanna, Prayers of Azariah, Letter of Jeremiah, Baruch, Sirach, Wisdoms of Solomon, Addition to Esther, Judith, Tobias, the books of Esdras. Those are just some of the books. The reason why do you some people say, oh, those books are not credible. Oh, they're most definitely credible. They tell you exactly what's going to happen to the enemy. That's why they got rid of them, because they don't want to hear. If you learn those books and you bring that in their face, they'll get angry. They'll get angry. They don't want to hear their punishment because they know what's going to happen to them. I have a spirit of the Most High. Whose spirit do you have? Do you have the spirit of the Most High, or do you have a spirit of Satan? Because that's what's going on here. Some people have the spirit of the Most High, and some people have the spirit of Satan. Those who long to do righteous. I'm not saying you made a mistake because we were blind and ignorant. I mean, when your mind opened up enough and you grew up out of your childhood manner and mind, when you got to a certain age, all your life you should have seen the truth. If you've always seen the truth about life, you have the spirit of the Most High, most definitely, positively, possibly, that could be correct. No. If you've always seen the truth and it did something to you, and you've always had love in your heart, you always wanted to help people, those are, I'm talking about helping people without recording it, without trying to get a tax write-off. If you've always done that, most likely you are a child of the Most High. He waits on us. He already called all of us, the ones that he wants to awaken, the ones that he wants to save. He already know who he's going to save, and he's just waiting on us to wake up. That's all. So that we can be ready. We're his little warriors out here fighting for our family, our people as a whole. Like I said, most people who tell this kind of truth, oh, they went through some things. And before I even told it, I was going through some things. Like if I already said it or something. Because obviously I've been speaking the truth from the beginning. And they knew it. They was trying to get me from this point though. The point of me knowing who I am, who my God is, and that I share in his power. So I don't fear no evil. I know how dirty and low these enemy can get. Oh, he's been showing us that too. He most definitely been showing us that. So just wake up. For your own sake. You gotta wake up. Otherwise, people around us that we care about will continue to die if the majority stay asleep. And that's not because they're dying in Christ. Some of them are. Some of them he took with him. Some of them are not dying in Christ. They're not. So people can say, oh, I know you'll be there when I know. Be real with yourself. Some of you know these people's end when they die, and you know their end was not good. And they was far from the Most High. So that means when they cross over, they're going to be far from him just the same. We can save our brothers and sisters from that. How many more people have to die and basically move to Hades? How many? How many children are being brainwashed by their parents, setting them up for failure? It's too hurtful just to think about. Children are being brainwashed by the parents are being brainwashed by the system. The children are being poisoned by the parents. The system is convincing the parents to give them the poison to poison them. But the reason why they want me out of the picture, you may say, why would anyone want to hurt you? Who are you? Oh, I'm everything. Everything that can save your life. All you have to do is eat the food I give you. And let it become you. Get some understanding. Start living in that truth. Start walking in a new direction if you're not already on that path. A righteous path. Am I complete? No. I'm not complete. Or I probably wouldn't be here to talk to you. If I was complete, I'm telling you. He don't delay. He's taking us away from here, those who are ready to go. All you have to do is just make the initiation and begin the journey. Take that walk towards righteousness. We don't know when he's coming, but we know we are in the last days officially. I don't want nobody to get left behind. But unfortunately, I can't let emotions tie me to this world. I refuse to, now that I know. That's exactly what Satan's been trying to use against me this last year. Because that's all he had left to use, was my love towards people. And it doesn't stop me from loving them. I just will not be deceived, and I will not let no one convince me to be a sinner. It's all the past now. I'm walking in my spiritual woman, cleaning up the little leftover of the carnal until I'm complete. I desire, like most people desire, clothes, hairdos, nails, new hats, new sunglasses, new cars, new pants, money. I desire to do the will of the Most High. I desire it. I've never desired anything until I start knowing who He was. Just a little bit that book tells me about it. It caused me to desire to be like Him, to walk like Him, to think like Him, to love like Him, to forgive like Him, to have mercy like Him, to hate wickedness like Him. It's my desire. All the things I thought I wanted at first, a man, a job. Oh yeah, I still like those things. But I want everything to come from the Most High. Everything. And at this point in my life, what I'm going through, I'm in the spiritual realm of life. So I most definitely cannot welcome just anyone into my home anymore. I learned that. I can't be around just anyone anymore. I can help anyone, friend or foe, like I do. But I can't be around them too long. I have to be around people who have the spirit of the Most High. That's why I tell people, when I gave my love and my time to everyone, they didn't want it. But now that I'm giving my time to who I should have been giving it to from the start, you want to distract me. But that's the will of Satan. And I know that. I can do better by myself. If it's not with someone who has the spirit of the Most High, then we can do better together. But if you don't have the spirit, I can do bad by myself. I mean, better by myself, not bad. I could do better by myself. I don't stress. I don't worry. I don't hate. I'm not jealous. I'm not any of those ill feelings that the devil wants me to feel. But I don't worry about what he wants. All that matters to me is what the Most High wants of me. I'm still on my path. You can change your life too. I did. And I'm still on it. Like I told you, I'm not complete. Oh, but I'm a lot better inside where it counts. I don't care about how it looks on the outside. I'm not here to please people or any other being here. My desire is to do the will of the Father who created us and our Lord and Savior Yeshua, who the Most High gave us to be Lord over. For your children's sake and your own. And if he give us that much time, their children, change your way. Don't stop having children then. If you don't want to change, stop having children. Stop the suffering. The only thing that's keeping this life in existence is God's children. The moment the last one is taken out of here, this world is over. It's already done. He sends his people here to help this world. The evil in it, the darkness in it, the wickedness. Once that last one is gone, that's it. So if you holding on to dear life here, you holding on to nothing. You're holding on to nothing. You're out on a limb, holding on to nothing, and you're going to fall. Heavenly Father, Most High Yah, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I pray that you will touch the souls of your people all out there and help them understand what the value of life is and how life is not connected to this place. Know that this system is designed to destroy you, and those who run and operate it that you can see know it too. They know where they're going. At least they know, and they choose to continue in their wickedness. You're going blindly, not knowing the treatment that you will receive once you get to that Sheol, hell, Hades, or whatever they want to call it. No, it's hell. I'm just trying. Stop being deceived. This world is one great illusion. It was an illusion that was created and designed to keep you under some type of spell of the enemy, of Satan, who you want to call the white man. It ain't just the white man, because he uses a white man. He uses the Mexican man. He uses your brother. He uses the black man. He uses any of these people who you would call race. Race don't have no relevance. Because if you knew race, then you would know there's only one race. And even our adversary was born through the so-called black race. And if that was the fact, or with that being the truth, that means there's only one colored race, and that's a black race. Except for them creatures that came from them other worlds. But as far as human and mankind is concerned, they came through us, our forefathers. There's only one race. Now, how everybody looks are different, I don't know. Besides, I mean, I know why the so-called white man look different, because that's the way the Most High created him to be that way. Now, everybody else in between, I don't know how they got like that. They just have characteristics of our forefathers and sisters from way back then. I've tried to find that truth, but they're not going to tell us. They want us to think we're all different people because of the shade of our skin and texture of our hair. Well, this is the texture of possibly of Christ's hair right here. This is woolly hair, so similar to woolly hair. Come out of the darkness. I don't want to be around nobody who don't have God's spirit, because at the place where I am, I can sense the wicked spirits in people. I can feel their wicked spirits. I can hear and I know when they're trying to deceive me, set me up. I'm not going to partake in none of these blood holidays. Once I understand something and it ain't right, it got to go. At all costs, no matter what anyone thinks or says. It's turning around for me. I've been in the darkness for too long, and I'm finally on my way home, so I feel at home already. I pray that the Most High will give each and every one of you good health, a sound mind, peaceful rest, and provide everything that you need to be met while we're here in this life. Wake up. 3T's is out of here. Hallelujah. Glory to our King Yeshua.